All right, everybody, welcome to the Studying Brew, episode 866 on this beautiful Monday evening. It is the Kona Catchphrase. It is the keyword night. It is the keys to getting a pass notice. That's what we calling it, right? Well, I don't know if we call it that, but that's what I'm going to call it because it is what it is. By the way, my name is Andy. I'm the guy that runs the back office over here. And am the DJ. But you're not here for my music. You're here for Brandy. She's got her Series 6, 63, 26, 65, and her Series 7, which makes her more than qualified to teach you all the things you need to know so that way you, too, can get that pass notice. Are you leaning this way?
I'm just showing off my Kona gear.
I thought I was because I was leaning the other way.
Showing off the shirt. Positivity.
I'm just going to say this. You know, nothing makes you feel old when you watch your 15-year-old son just squatting his brains out and just lifting crazy weight, and then you go and try it and you're like, nah, I'm not good. I'm good. Then you limp away and your back hurts. That's me tonight. I was like, man,
or when the dentist says that his mom is my age,
Right. But I was gonna bring that up, but what I'm just saying is it doesn't matter what level you're at. It's never too late to just get in there and have fun and get in there. I still got mine today. I still worked out. I just not at that level. Literally, my son's working with an Olympic athlete, and it's another level. And I'm just like, no, dude, I can't do that.
I started the 5 a.m. club today.
Yeah. But I'm going to say this, guys. And I was telling Zach earlier, and that's our boy. I was telling him earlier, I said, here's the thing. And I say this all the time on the Studying Brew, and I'm going to say it all the time to you guys. The fact that you're here at night, that's extraordinary. That's something that's a dedication. That's something that other people are not willing to do in order to achieve something. And if you want to achieve something and you want to do extraordinary things in your life and have things that other people don't, you have to do things that other people are not willing to do. Normal people already in bed, and they're probably watching The Bachelor and getting ready to talk at the water cooler about they can't believe who got the rose. You know what I mean? That's normal people. That's normal people. But you're like, no, I was up all night taking notes and trying to get my securities license and trying to level up. And then when you do level up, all those same people who told you were crazy, oh, that's so dumb, it's wishful thinking. Not everybody does that. Not everybody gets that money. Not everybody achieves it. All those people that were so, in your corner talking trash, all of a sudden you achieve it. And then they're like, oh, I always knew, man. I always knew you were always the smartest. I knew you had it. Oh yeah. Overnight sensation all of a sudden. It ain't that way. It ain't no overnight sensation. It's not just an easy way to get it. There's no pill for it. There's no quick way around it. There's no surgery. There's no Ozempic shot for it. You just got to get in there and study, and you have to work your butt off. That's all there is to it.
Nah, legit.
That's it. And every time you see a shortcut come up in anything, and guess what? A few months later, I mean, it doesn't matter what it is, right? You hear it like a month later, like, oh man, medical reasons you shouldn't do that, right? Turns out the best way to do it is the old-fashioned way, especially if you're losing weight or gaining muscle, right? Diet and exercise wins again. But nobody wants to do that, right? They all want the shots, or they want this, or they want that, and the easy way out. And then, oh, it's not good for your health. No kidding, right? Right. And then the same thing with your business. People take shortcuts in their business, and they don't have that long-lasting relationship, and they don't have that long-lasting business, and then it's over. And then they wonder why. It's the same thing with everything you do. The harder it is, the better it is. The more difficult it is, the better it is. The more you struggle with this stuff, the better it is. So when you guys are trying hard to pay attention, and you're trying hard to understand this stuff, and it seems like it's in a different language, because it is, guess what? That's awesome. Celebrate it. Have the positivity about it. Be like, oh, this is awesome. This is why other people quit. This is why I'm doing it.
Yes.
Instead of finding a way around it, look for a reason. That's what I'm saying. Instead of looking for a shortcut, look for a reason to push forward. Instead of giving up, look for a reason. We call it knowing your why. And that will get you through those days. Because if you don't have the reason, and you don't have a why you're pushing yourself so hard and having to hear all this trash talk and missing out on great shows, I'm sure, like The Bachelor. I mean, it must be great. It's been around forever. I've never seen one. To be honest with you, I'm not just saying that to be cool. I've never seen one. I don't get it, but whatever. hey, if that's the only way they can find love, who am I to stand in the way of love? But I'm just saying is like, you gotta that is what happens, right? We get sucked into these vacuums of people telling you, oh, this is better, right? Like dessert tastes is better, right? We all know that like a cake is better than probably eating broccoli and Brussels sprouts, right? But the broccoli and Brussels sprouts pays you in dividends as you go forward in life. The cake is actually turns into a deficit. Just like all the other trash, whether it's TV, whether it's like doing, things that don't add value to your life, it decreases your it depreciates you. So I always want to start off today on this Monday as we go into the Kona Academy and starting this program and all this stuff. Or maybe you guys are hitting on you're in that plateau. You're in that moment where you're like, oh, this is just getting to me, right? You're just like, oh, another night, right? You're feeling it. I just want to applaud you. I want to applaud you and I want to appreciate you. And I want you guys to know that you're doing good.
Yes, you
You're
are.
adding value to you.
Mm-hmm.
You're adding value. Just like adding a bathroom to your house. You know what I mean? It's not the funnest thing to do, but you're adding value to something that appreciates.
And and
It's not the Disneyland trip, but at least you got another bathroom and everybody loves another bathroom.
and honestly, guys, I look back at when I was studying through my journey, and yeah, dude, it sucked when I was going through it. But I look back now and I'm like, it's just a simple little blip of my time. That's it.
Yep.
That's it.
You look back at it and you're like, man, that was nothing. You know what I mean?
Thing.
But it pays dividends, guys.
Absolutely.
It pays dividends. Brandy barely does any business, and I'm not trying to dig on her, but barely does any business, but she still gets paid every month.
I don't.
Those fees come in every month and she gets paid.
Cha-ching.
That's value.
Yes, it is.
You know what I mean? There's a bill we don't have to worry about.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm talking about. You appreciate, you add value. So keep it the positivity. Know that the difficulty is a good thing. So when it gets hard, it gets difficult, you don't want to do it, and just be like, this is why it's worth it. That's exactly why it's worth it. That's why you got to do this. And that's why you guys are all here tonight. And I appreciate all of you. By the way, if you get any kind of like help out of this and you're watching this on the free on YouTube right now, hit the subscribe, hit the notification, share with a friend, let them know what we're doing over here. Guys, that's how we market. That's how we advertise, only through the good works that we do and just doing this every night for free for you all. So if you want to help a brother and a sister out, let everybody know. That's all I'm saying. Just let them out. Let them know.
Yes.
It costs you nothing, really, honestly, and I appreciate it so 100,000 million percent. So, yes. All right. If you want to get into our Kona Academy, maybe our 21-day plan, we have a guided and self-study program. Go ahead and join us. Scan the QR code, hit the links. We also have the study guides available, the ebooks. We got the SIE, the 6, 63, 26. We got a 66 and 65 coming out sometime this year. So, if you want to check that out, also that is available. And we have the message board, the Kona community, ask questions, get questions, all that great stuff. And join the study community. All that stuff is by scanning the QR code or hit the links. 951-290-3077. That's the phone number, or text me there. Instagram and Telegram works too. And you can reach me on over there. If you are a member and you text me or message me on Patreon, it's not the best because I can't send you, like sometimes when people ask me how to do something, it's so much easier if you do that on almost anything else but the Patreon, because I can't send like a screenshot or this is the instructions or a PDF or anything like that. So it does help if you reach me on those different platforms. All right. Just a reminder, like I said, tomorrow's week 1. And thank you for changing that graphic. I had a major error in it. But tomorrow it starts at 9:30 a.m. for the SIE. Check your local listings there on the screen for all your different time zones. Those are the correct times. Earlier I had the wrong times on there, but no, those are the right ones. So check those out. Make sure to join in tomorrow. We're doing a little something different with the SIE. We're going in reverse order, but we're going in order.
We're going in order, but we're going out of order in order.
Brandy and I realize a lot of y'all need to like know the end of the book more than need to know the beginning of the book.
Yeah, and I kind of teased this a little bit last month, like, hey, what do you think if we?
Yeah, because you know why? There's so much bad. You know what the constant battle for us, and it's not just in this, but also in like real world when you guys get out there and get securities license, is bad information. So many people say just get a good score in 1 and 2, and then don't worry about anything else.
Right.
And so people tune out on 3 and 4, and guess what happens when they don't pass their exam? They're inadequate in 3 and 4. It's almost like how'd they know?
Or like because usually the last chapter is the smallest amount of questions, nobody cares about those
They neglect
chapters.
it.
And guess what happens? 69%.
Go. That's the difference.
Yes.
Today we had a great session on doing all the OMs. By the way, if you're not, if you're a member, you need to be on Mondays or watch that replay for Mondays, because that's where we give you the studying. That's where we give you the techniques. That's where we break all those skill sets and techniques. And then the rest of the week, like this one, we do the content for the Academy. Series 6, right after that, and the 63 is how we end it. 1 p.m. Pacific is when that starts for the Series 63. And this is the first week of the 4-week. So let's go.
Let's do it. Oh, ready? You need to unplug her.
Can you just go? She's tired of going.
She went
She
off
was
all
like
day.
looking at you. She's like, "Are you gonna switch the screen?"
She went off all day today.
She's all, Brandy. Next one. Next one, Brandy. All right. Anyways, Kona Catchphrase. Tonight we are gonna look at those keywords. We always do the Studying Brew in a series. In tonight we do the keywords. Tomorrow techniques. Wednesday we do some content or Q&A. It depends. We mix it up. Thursday techniques and content. We tie it all together. So tonight is the first part of the Studying Brew, of where we break this techniques and skill sets down. This is our 30 minutes of free. This is like free little bit of what we did today, all day, and all the different sessions today, all the way through the all exams, the 26 and 65. Yeah, so we hit it all today. So, but those ones are more in depth. Today is a nice little taste, and we have fun with it. We make jokes and whatnot. We make levity, because nothing like studying is, better than when laughing. Yeah, something like that. I think that Confucius says that.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, studying, nothing better, laughing. Anyway, yeah.
Something like that.
Anywho, so tonight what we're gonna do is we're gonna put some questions and answers up on the screen. You pick the keywords of what you think is leading to the right answer, whether it's a pattern, whether it's a similarity, any of that stuff will help you out. So we will need your participation in the chat. Put in there what you think it is. What are those keywords? Don't be scared. Don't be afraid. That's how we learn. That's how you know what you don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And once you don't know what you don't know, then that's easier to know what you need to know. With that, let's go, Brandy.
You don't know what you know until you don't. You don't know what you don't know until you know it. Boom.
All right. D, regulatory risk. C, political risk. B, business risk. A, legislative risk. Legislative risk. Business risk. Political risk. I would almost say, well, it's the same.
This study prep that I'm using to pull these questions.
You know what's crazy? As I would say, legislative risk is domestic, and then political risk is outside of the country, foreign. Because legislative is like laws and regulations domestically.
Well, why couldn't it be laws and regulations anywhere? Isn't it just laws and regulations? Laws?
Well, wouldn't it have to be this country's?
Do other countries not have a legislation?
That would be a political risk somewhere else, wouldn't it? I don't know. I'm just asking.
No, I know.
I'm asking.
No, I know.
I'm a student here.
You are asking a question, and I am
trying to grab the pebble out of your hand.
I am answering your question with a question.
I don't know. That's why that's my answer. I don't know.
Let's keep it even more simple though.
I'll do it in Spanish.
Let's keep it. Let's keep it even more simple though, because
okay,
we might go a little.
Is that too deep?
Yes.
And that's the common mistake that most people have.
Yes.
Too much. See, guys? Too much. Keep it simple.
I want to know why you guys are putting that business. Oh, I see why. I had to say it out loud.
That's why I was getting to is legislative is law, political is some sort of law or politics, regulatory is rules, law, business is not.
True. No, you're right. You're right. So I everything that I wrote down here, guys, I got from the chat.
These are observations and keywords.
Yeah. So let's look at the question.
As a result of a change in the FDA's review standards, a pharmaceutical company has been denied approval for a new drug and has seen a significant decline in value. This is the result of
there you go.
Company business.
Boom. Look at that.
Was
So,
that like a regulatory one?
well,
Well, because I would have said pharmaceutical company was denied, and that's a business risk.
but it's why
And
it's
that's
out of their hands. See, if I made a bad decision, that's on me.
oh, see, guys, see that? That's the difference. Because how many of you would have picked a business risk because you're like it said pharmaceutical company, right? But that's not their fault. It's a regulatory thing.
Because it's out of management's hands. That's not their fault. That had nothing to do with the business and everything to do with the FDA. So that would mean it's regulatory.
Boom. How many would have got it wrong because you were like thinking like me? You were like pharmaceutical company. It's got to be it. You know what I mean? Yeah, me too.
No, it's legit. I mean, it's not. Why do you think they put business and regulatory there?
But I think the key thing that you said is why was it bad, or what was the risk that sent it off? I guess.
Mhm,
All right.
mhm.
That's why you're. That's why you're here.
That's right.
All right. See, and I always ask the questions you guys. The fixed annuity is not a security. The individual assumes the investment risk. The fixed annuity is subject to purchasing power risk. The fixed annuity is only subject to insurance regulation. So yep, has an only. What else? 3 is fixed. I think that's important.
Mm. Hmm.
Do you know what else I know?
Hmm.
Fixed annuities are not securities.
So okay, so let's play that game. If D is true, what about A?
It's true because it's an insurance regulator.
Um, should we leave it at that? I just
And then fixed annuity is subject to purchasing power risk. Yeah,
why?
because it doesn't keep with inflation. If inflation happens, dude, you're still getting the same amount of money. And holy smokes, did we see a change in the price of milk in the last couple of years?
Now I see in the chat that somebody put C is true. And at first glance, when I first saw this answer set, I thought the same thing as well. But if we know that D is true, then we know that A is true, right? Because of the exact reason. It's not a security, so it has to be regulated by somebody, right? Um, and then you get to B or C. And this is a perfect example, and we are going to do this tomorrow night, but this is a perfect example of I think that this is, I'm torn between B and C, but I'm gonna rely heavy on the test taking technique of C being different because it's the only one that doesn't start off or mention the word fixed. So I think the answer is C. We could read the question, but I think that
Well,
we
I
could
see the
only guess.
accept and I know I'm right. When purchasing a fixed annuity, an individual should understand each of the following about the investment, except that, well, the one that's not a fixed annuity.
See how we do that? And then guys, I had to reread that answer and went, oh, that is the wrong statement. This is true for a variable. But again, we tried not to do content on Monday, but um that's a little bit of content and using the technique. So if you guys are new, if you guys are watching this for the first time, you guys see that these techniques have basis for truth. I mean, for
There's always breadcrumbs.
security.
There's always breadcrumbs to the right answer.
Right.
There's clues.
The clues.
And like we always tell all of our members, do not master any Q bank.
No. No.
D, continuing commissions are never permitted. C, they permitted based on business generated in existing as well as new accounts. B, they're permitted but limited to the business from existing accounts. A, they're permitted only if the individual remains registered. A has only. Yep. D is different. It has the never. It has Tardamona, I would guess, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Do I mention that B has a but?
Be but. Okay. So again, just
Are we thinking too much?
no, you guys are all good. I do want you guys to pay attention to the end of B and C. It's the only thing I'm gonna add to
Well,
that.
it's the existing accounts and the existing well as the new accounts. It's two things.
Right. Can you guess, just based on these answer set, what we're talking about?
Commission
Continuing commissions. That's the topic. See, what we just did there, we just looked at the topic, but watch how you guys don't need it.
A 70-year-old registered representative has recently retired and wants to continue receiving commissions on his accounts to supplement his retirement. Which of the following statements is true regarding continuing commission payments? Well, isn't it just logical if you're retired, you're not getting anything new?
Guys, how do you do new if you're retired?
Just saying, I don't know how you guys do retiring, but when I do retiring, I'm not getting anything new.
How do you do new if you're retired?
I am fishing today. I am not looking at your portfolio, fool.
If you're retired, you're not licensed anymore. So because you're not licensed, which means you're not registered, means you're not registered, which means, sorry, that was sloppy, which means you cannot solicit new business. You are limited. Exactly. You're limited when you're retired. Do you guys get that? The link here
Is limited
is you're retired.
and
So
you're
it's
limited.
existing, limited. So you can get continuing commissions, but it's only on existing business.
Yeah, because again, retired, I'm not remaining registered. I am
Didn't even see
hired.
that part because I canceled it out because of the only.
Right.
You don't leave.
We have guys, by the way, I just want to add side note, fun note. Um, we have Kona's brother. We're fostering him for a little while. So we have a Kona's brother, Spanky. And he sits right next to. And why is he called Spanky? Because he has the shortest legs I've ever seen on a dog. They are so tiny. Anyways,
Okay.
all right, go ahead. D, current yield. C, nominal yield. B, yield to maturity. A, yield to call. So current is like today, right? Now, nominal is nominal like a number.
Um, I just like to say I like to just think I've always related nominal to it sounds like normal or like average, just like
Yeah. And yield to maturity is like basically like it's at the end of it.
yeah,
What is yield to call then? Like what would be a great way to remember that? Like what's going on right now? No, because that's
that would be current.
current.
Um, I would just relate it to just called. Like you're gonna see that word.
Okay.
Like you'll see that word if
All right.
that's it.
Okay. The total rate of return that an investor will receive if a bond is held until its maturity is the seems easy.
Right? Because
So what's the key word in the question?
I like that actually.
Well, your son yield home for dinner.
Oops.
I like that.
Boom,
Maturity. Right.
boom, 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 boom.
Exactly. And sometimes we go, is it that easy? Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
This could be a super major overthink. You know what I mean?
Wish you guys could see what's going on behind us on the ground. We have two dogs, a grown human, and I don't know what's going on. All right, anyways. It's like going on by my feet. All right. D, read by the options investor before the options account is open. C, given to clients at or before their options account is open. B, read by options investors within 30 days of their account being open. A, given to clients at or before their first option trade is executed.
Don't roll back.
Spanky is behind us. Yeah, behind me.
B has a number. You know, Normally, I would have noticed that, but this time I didn't.
Any keywords? What do we got here, guys? How about two of them start with given?
There you go. There
Two
you go.
start by red.
Oh, I didn't even see the red by.
So now we know what Brandy zeroed in on. What is red by other options? I've never
Okay,
heard that before.
let's look at the question, and I guess maybe this will help make
The
sense.
characteristics and risks of standardized options disclosure document must be okay, read by the options investor.
Yeah.
Do they have to be read by the options investor?
How do you prove that?
I don't know that you could.
Like, how do you prove? So if I'm looking at the word must, how can I make you sit there and actually read that document? There's
Especially
no
if it's
way.
anything like a perspective that looks like the size of a,
Yeah. I mean, hey guys, have you
like,
ever seen disclosure documents of anything, not even securities?
and it's the most driest, boringest thing. Yeah, I'm sure I'll read that.
Yeah, nobody's reading that, even in front of the people as they're sitting there watching you. You're not.
Hold on, turn the page. Wait, you missed that paragraph. Go back.
Yeah. Like, how do you prove that? You can't, right?
We'd never
So
close anything. If you were an options investor and that was is dependent on that, it'd never be closed.
exactly. So now that we know that we're talking about risks disclosure, right? Would we give that to before the first trade or at the account opening?
Oh man, that's a good question.
When would you like that disclosure?
I would like it when you open it.
Wouldn't it be better to know the risk before you even open the account?
So that would be first.
To me, that makes more sense.
See, but it depends on your level of knowing this knowledge. When you open an account, is that before you trade?
Yes. You can't trade without an account.
Right.
Period.
So
Like
I
any
what?
type of account.
So what you're saying is before? Yeah. So I said it right.
Yeah, yeah.
Before I open the account, I want to know the risk. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
See,
Thank you.
Stanky does say see.
He's literally laying on the wheels of Andy's chair. So if Andy moves at all, good thing he's not on my chair. All right. Ooh, last one.
D, front running. C, churning. B, normal business activity. A, riskless principal transaction.
What? Sorry, I wasn't supposed to do that. C and D are bad. I like that. Excessive butter.
Riskless principal transaction? What is that?
And
What is riskless?
all sound shady, but B. I like that because this sounds pretty sus.
Yeah, that sounds what? There's always risk.
I mean, I don't know what that
I don't know what a
is.
principal transaction is anyway.
Right. What about D? What does that sound like? Not what is it vocabularily, but what does it sound like when you're
Well,
front running?
Cutting in line. Getting in front of everybody. Running in front of everybody?
Yeah, line cutting. Sorry.
You zoned out.
I did. I super zoned out.
There's a lot going around us.
It's like the first time.
There's a lot of stuff. Like, I don't know what's going on. Guys, it is like a circus all around us. It is like trying to concentrate while like literally Ringling Brothers is happening in the background. I don't know what's going on. Now I hear phones and stuff.
I think he dropped his phone over there.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, sorry guys. So a registered representative is aware of a non-public information regarding impending block sale and a security and decides to sell the stock from any account in which he has discretion. This is considered.
I like this question because it wasn't like when we see this top where it says aware of non-public information, the first thought you have is insider trading. This is a great question, by the way, if you were to read the question first, you would have stopped at aware of non-public information and gone, "Oh, it's insider trading." Then you would read the answers and go, "Oh, wait,
There is no insider trading.
let me read that question again." And honestly, this is the hint right here, guys. It's not the fact that it's a block sale, it's the fact that it's an impending block sale. So it's a future, it's something coming up, so you decide to sell. This one, you have to kinda look at the grammar a little bit. You got future, so you're selling now. So you got a huge sell in the future, so you're gonna sell things out now.
It's almost like you're cutting in line. You're like, I know them tickets are going on sale, so I'm gonna cut in front of everybody.
Pretty much. Future,
I know what's going down.
now.
What are
Line.
you talking about? I was always standing by the door.
I'm gonna slide my way over.
That was my friend standing there. Didn't you see us talk?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cutting in line.
That's right.
All right. Did we make it?
We
I
did.
can't believe we made it.
Oh.
I can't believe it with all I mean, I was waiting for a kid to ride by on a unicycle. I don't know what was going on, but anyhow, we made it through. And guys, I know that sometimes your quizzes are like that. You sit there and you decide to open up a quiz, and then all of a sudden, Barnum and Bailey appears, right? Literally in your living room. And they're all your kids, and you're like, why? What? You guys were all sleeping, and now what? What is going on? And it happens, and you got to find ways to stay focused. And the best way to stay focused is doing these keywords because it'll help you read through it, scan, just look for those keywords and stay in it. And sometimes the best quizzes we ever have are the ones that we're doing this instead of like being so super focused and overthinking because we'll talk ourselves right out of the right answer all the time. And then these ones where we're just looking at keywords and we can't pay attention and we're going through it. Wow, did I get an 80%?
Dude,
Think less. Think less.
think less.
Think less.
The
Look,
moral of tonight, think less.
there you go. Just keep it on the surface. All right, everybody. We'll have the Academy tomorrow. We'll be back for the Studying Brew tomorrow night. Test taking techniques. Brandy's going to do all the heavy lifting tomorrow. It's going to be fun. And we hope to see you all there. Same bat time, same bat channel. Until then, everybody, stay safe out there. Wash your hands. Don't touch your face. Don't touch your friend's face. That's all I know. Keep that positive mental attitude. PMA, everybody. Have a great night.
Thank you guys so much for being on. We super appreciate you guys. Practice the Kona catchphrase in your quizzes. We will see you guys tomorrow. Have a great one.